Hi, I'm Solsunforge, and this is how to do character voices on Dungeons and Taverns. Hi everybody, I'm Solsunforge. This is Dungeons and Taverns. Doing character voices can be very intimidating, especially, if you think you might be judged for it. No one likes to be judged, especially when you're trying to have fun. And even though I've been DMing for the better part of 18 years now, I still sometimes feel like sometimes my voices aren't terribly good or that I'll be judged for them. It's a natural feeling, I think, for humans to be worried about being judged. But I want to tell you today that there's some things you can do with your voice. Even if you don't want to completely change your voice, you don't need to be a voice actor or have any professional coaching or anything like that. There's a few things that you can do. The easiest thing that you can do is use your normal voice and just change the cadence of your voice. For instance, if you're playing a character who maybe is a little more intelligent, has more thought into what they're saying, you can speak a little bit slower, like this. Or if you're playing a character that's really excited, or like a smaller character, maybe you want to lean into traditional halfling or gnome. You can speak like this really fast and but really excited, and you could throw in some of the character's personality or things like that into it. The next thing you can do is tighten your chest up. That will change your voice considerably if you use a deeper tone, and then your posture, your positioning all matters into it as well. We're being attacked. Why did you hit me? So you tighten up your chest, and then you just speak, and your normal voice will come out a little bit differently. If you don't mind looking silly, you can actually change the part of your mouth that your voice comes out of. Like you just move your jaw and your mouth, and your voice will sound slightly different just by doing that. But if you combine it with the things I've already mentioned, the cadence of your voice, you'll produce a different voice. You can also make your voice more scratchy by speaking more from your throat, although that hurts your throat a bit if you do it too much, so you may not want to do that. Where's the ale? Where's me drink? You can also just talk like a pirate. That'll help you out too. Walk around as like a cleric or a monk and just come out with a pirate voice out of nowhere. That beauty has a fat booty. I don't know. Are you ready, kids? But seriously though, you can use your tongue to touch the back of your throat or the front, like your teeth, up your lower teeth, and combined with some of the other things that I've already said, you can get a few different voices. Yeah? You want to challenge me? Draw your weapon. You're going to feel that hit tomorrow, I assure you. The next thing you want to do is maybe when you're alone or something, just practice your voice. In the mirror. The bathroom's a decent place, but just remember the acoustics of the bathroom is going to make it sound much better than it actually is. More louder, a little bit of echoey. So just be mindful of that. I'd say if you have a stand-up mirror or something, practice your voice in the mirror so you can see what your facial expressions look like when you're doing a voice, and then you can practice on keeping that voice rather consistent. One of the biggest problems that people have when they first try a voice is hitting that voice rather close in succession. Another thing you can do is kind of pinch your nose like closed a bit, and so you'll have a little bit more of a nasally voice. Well, technically, the lore states that the Blood War is mostly fought in the Abyss and Avernus layers only. And if you want to, you can even use voices from pop culture if you feel comfortable doing that. I have a few of them that I could do. We'll do Kermit the Frog, for instance. And you just kind of stretch your throat out a bit. Kermit the Frog here. It ain't easy being green. and you can modify that voice if you like, and change it a bit for like a goblin, maybe even a kobold, some of the smaller races that have more of a higher pitch voice. Another thing that I like to do is use voices from games like Warcraft, for instance. A lot of their voices are pretty good, and especially like the real time strategy game has some good voices, especially for the orcs and for the trolls. And so if you just listen to those, you'll be able to mimic those pretty good, and eventually you'll be able to practice and branch out your vocabulary using those voices. Like the peons, work, work. We're being attacked. Or the trolls, did you call me? What you want me to kill? Your command, master. And just practice, man. If you really want to do some voices, it's just a matter of how much work you would like to put into it. They're not required, but they are fun to do, even if you do them bad, like I do. I admit it. My voices are bad. They're pretty cringy, but that's fine. That's all part of the fun, I don't care so much about being judged anymore. I don't. So once you get past all that, you're golden. And then if you want, you can even throw in different dialects a little bit. You don't have to make it, overtly, crazy. You don't have to like overly accentuate different dialects, but you can throw a little bit of it in. It will change your voice up, and people will get the picture. Like a British accent, they usually don't pronounce the R's very well, and sometimes if you're looking for a Cockney voice or something, you don't pronounce the H's. Well, what have we here? Give me your coins and no one gets hurt. You see? And so with a combination of everything I mentioned, your mouth movements, if you're using your tongue to touch your upper or lower teeth, straighten your vocal cords, tighten up your chest, you could get different voices. If you talk slower or faster, you'll also get different voices. So you can actually do a lot more voices without even practicing than it's just getting over the fear of being judged, really, is why people don't do voices. They don't want to seem like they're nerdy or dorky or whatever word you'd like to use. But the thing is, we're all playing tactical role-playing games, D&D, Pathfinder, whatever you're playing. And so the other people that you're playing with may be as or more dorky or nerdy than you are. And everybody who's there already understands why they're there. And so throwing in a voice it's not necessary for sure. But the general understanding is that people are going to do voices, and they may play very hard into their characters when they do their voices. And that's completely fine for you, for them, for the DM. But understand that you're not required to do any voices when you play tactical role-playing games. You're not. And so if you don't feel comfortable with it, even still, then just don't do it. It's fine. No one's going to expect it of you. So that's the quick lowdown and dirty of doing voices. Hopefully you enjoyed this shorter video. Most of my videos in the future are going to be around this length. If you enjoyed the content, give me a subscribe and a like. Meet you down in the comments section if you want. I'll answer any of your questions, D&D related, and mostly otherwise as well, if you're interested. My description section has a nice little about me portion, who I am, things like that for new viewers. And I appreciate you all. I'm Solsunforge. This has been Dungeons and Taverns. Have yourself a great day.